Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here, welcome back to more Steins. In the last episode, Okabe came to realization that returning to the beta world line while saving the world will mean the death of Makizu Kurisu. And this also triggered chapter 10. Now, there is a save that we made back when we decided to not send the D-mail, so what I want to do right now is that I want to go back here and send the D-mail and see what happens, and see if this is just like a shortcut. I'm not sure, but it might be. I'm curious to see what happens if we send it right away, because then I think we won't experience the whole Nay is a killer plot. Then again, we've already seen her be a killer, but I don't think she stabs us and stuff. We'll see. Let's just send it and get on with it. The world warps, because this is not where we were during... Yeah, this is really not where we were during the other mail. Then again, on that other world line, it was a different time of the day, so that makes sense that we weren't here. Once the distortion dissipates, Kurisu is gone, so is Moeka's body. The phone I'm gripping is my own. FB's phone has disappeared. I look at my hands. They're clean. No blood. No knife on the floor either. Everything was undone. But then why am I in this room? There are 2 bottles of Dr. P on the coffee table. Both are open. One is nearly empty, but the other is still full. I guess you went to Moeka's place. I jump at the sound of a running that is not a running shower. That's a toilet. After a few minutes, I keep wanting to use the pronunciations from the anime now. I keep wanting to say Moeka, but I'm gonna stick with my own. Moeka comes out of the bathroom, expressionless. You're alive. Dots? Moeka sits down on the tatami mats, not questioning why I'm here. She takes out her purple phone and begins typing a mail. Feels like forever since I've seen her lightning speed typing. I don't need an IBM 5100 anymore. This mail doesn't make sense. It reads like Moeka and I were discussing the IBM 5100 just moments ago. Of course, that's exactly what happened on this world line. That explains why I'm here. What do you mean? My supervisor told me to stop looking. There's probably going to be a lot of similarities here to the other timeline, but bear with me. Bum 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 bum. You should have seen my reaction here during the first initial recording. I was like, I get it! I get it! I get it! Right before he said it. Okay. Chapter 10, Stardust Sky. Alrighty-yo, let's continue on in chapter 10. I thought that I'd found a solution, that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I'd solved nothing. Instead, I'm left with a terrible choice. Mayuri or Kurisu. One of them must die. Radio Kaikan is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Susua's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow-striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly cancelled the attempt to hack CERN. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later and I'm still nowhere close to finding an answer. Dots. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabashi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurisu was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first D-mail I sent, the one about Kurisu's death, from CERN's database. That would return us to the beta world line, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, lab member 004, Makiza Kurisu would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now, on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. The world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase the D-mail, Kurisu will cease to exist. And so, I'm left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the IBN 5100 and erase the first D-mail I sent, thus returning to the beta world line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will ever build a time machine and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha world line. Mayuri will die. So will Moeka and FB. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least, she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. And I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Susuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, I probably would not have hesitated to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through time and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis, always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. I can't choose. I can't. Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri. That is what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? I drive my fist into the wire fence. Susuha, Faris, Lukaku, Moeka, is this what I sacrificed your memories for? Is there no other option? Is there no way to save them both? What if I use Susuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World Line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Susuha leapt to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia. That only occurs on this world line. On the Beta World Line, she'll have no reason to leap to 2010. Susuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I send Kurisu a warning via D-mail? It could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabashi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kurisu's death is inevitable on the Beta World Line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Dots. Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancel Moeka's D-mail, Plus, I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the 9th of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 PM that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely. I understand that from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu. If I can just save them both, then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Susua's dream if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I'm just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Kamima runs for 3 straight days, from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Kamima closes. It's not really my thing though, and the crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off the side with Mayuri's bags. From time to time, Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching. Well, night of the 17th, huh? We've never been this far in the story. We're finally home. It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri's dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with doujinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she is too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while. What are you gonna do now? Head straight home?
Actually, I was thinking of going to the lab.
Need something?
Not really, but it's been a while since I got to relax with Corinne. I'm a little hungry, so I'll buy some juicy chicken #1 on the way.
Maybe Mayuri wants a taste of normalcy again, now that the chaos of Kamima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders. Back to the lab then.
Hey Corinne, why did you come with Mayushi today? You never come with me to Kamima before. You're not interested in moe, right?
I like robot anime, but not so much that I'd line up early in the morning for Kamima each year, like Daru and Mayuri do.
So why did you come with me today?
Well, to confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I want her to live, remember?
Well?
I just felt like it.
Oh.
Dots. Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die? Well, being a doctor must be tough. Lukaku. I frantically try to smooth things over. I thought maybe you'd managed to get Lukaku to cosplay, so I came to laugh at him. Too bad he didn't come.
Yeah, Lukaku would be super popular if he did come, though. People would take his picture and post it all over the internet, then everyone in the world would see how cute he is. And after he became a superstar, we usually would see him on TV and think, wow, he's gone so far.
It's scary because it's true.
Oh, Corinne?
Suddenly, Mayuri turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
Thank you for today.
Why are you thanking me?
Well, like I said, this is the first time Corinne's ever come to Kamima with me. It made Mayushi really happy.
A smile finally returns on Mayuri's face.
But you know what would make me even happier? If you cosplay next time.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That's right. Don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
Really? You'll cosplay for me?
Only if you cosplay too. Lukaku too. And Christina, of course. Convince them to cosplay first. If you manage that, then I, the great and insane mad scientist Hoyoyin Kiyuma, will grace Kamima with my august presence. The next Kamima takes place this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us, laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. But it sounds really fun too. Besides, I think Christian secretly wants to cosplay, so there's hope. Mayushi's gonna do her best.
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I got a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka going to ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moeka and Tanushi. That has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine. Wait here, Mayuri. I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front, and then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile, but still, I want to do anything I can, anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decided to check the street for any suspicious people. I walked down the street towards Kuramayabashi Dori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moeka used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tanushi used to transport the IBN 5100. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run! The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death's still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No! I don't want to die yet! Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die?
Oh, Corinne!
Something slams into my back. Did she just do what I think she did? Oh no. Honey. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. Mayuri! I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Oh, Mayuri,
I'm sorry. It's my fault. Her hand wanders, as if seeking something. He reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, She smiles.
Finally, Mayushi was useful to Corinne.
What? Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time, it's too much. This time, it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back the tears. Mayuri, you can't see the stars from here. How could this happen? Why did she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen. But I never imagined that she would die saving me. With a smile on her face. What do you mean you were finally useful? Tell me, Mayuri. There's no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. And it's a tough choice. There's no doubt about that, Corinne. The sky's blue. I'm on the roof of Radio Kaikon after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against a wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think. That's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that time is no longer an option now that I confirmed Mayuri's death. This time, I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian... Don't make me say that word. Utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the Beta world line where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to Sesua, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the D-mail reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave, named subject to change. That was around the middle of July. Dara and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the D-mail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. But now, I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha world line. On the Beta world line, where this all began, Sesua didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabashi's conference went ahead as planned and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the D-mail, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Sesua crashed her time machine into the roof of Radio Kaikon. Nakabashi's presentation was cancelled and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha World line after Kurisu died. If I'd sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that email because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and send them a D-mail warning them off? Will that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that D-mail I would first have to move to the Beta World line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu.
There you are.
I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face. Not now.
What are you doing here?
Nothing. How did you know I was here?
You said you wanted to be alone. I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest probability of finding you here.
Then leave me alone. You don't have to look for me. I'm not a lost little boy. Lost? Lost. I don't know how that lost came out.
Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you?
Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression.
I was going to leave you alone at first, but you've been acting weird the last couple days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual.
Dots.
You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened?
Nothing.
Then why did you cancel the cracking of CERN?
You're the one who said we shouldn't.
Oh, so you're afraid of triggering arrest flags. I get it.
You should praise me for obeying the law for a change.
That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist, Hoyoyin Q—
To hell with my ego!
Dots?
This time, it's not that simple. I have forced my ego on others before. Susua, Faris, Lukaku. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare. I have to choose which friend to let die. It would be so much easier if I knew what was right.
Which friend to let die? What are you talking about?
I'm just a student, Christina. You know? The insane mad scientist Hoyoyin Kyuma? That's just a fantasy. A character I made up. I bet you had no idea.
I may have figured that out when we first met.
When we first met? What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built a time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friends. We would not be as close as we are right now.
Tell me, Okabe, what do you mean?
I can't meet her questioning gaze. Do I have to tell you?
You never hesitated to ask me for help before.
Don't hold back now. That's not what this is about. Then prepare yourself. What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth. And it could also be your death sentence. Kurisu's voice cracks a little. Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the Beta World line where Mayuri doesn't die?
And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives. Everyone is free.
You made it sound perfect. Perfect. It's anything but. I showed you the first D-mail, didn't I? The one that started it all. On the Beta World line, the events described in that D-mail actually happened. Dots. Kurisu's a genius. I have no doubt that she understands. Kurisu, on the Beta World line, you die on July 28th. Dots. And according to the attractor field model, nothing can prevent that from happening. If I want to save Mayuri, I have no choice but to let you die. Dots. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down. Hey, Okabe? How credible do you find this attractor field model? Credible? It's all secondhand info from John Teeter, from Amana-san, isn't it? I get that it's the acceptable model in 2036, but how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields? Are you trying to say the model may be wrong? But I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand. Even if they're right about convergence, what about the relationship between world lines? The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future. But that's just from your perspective, Okabe. Once you go to the Beta world line, the me that your brain perceives will die. In other words, your perspective will have chosen the world line where I die, instead of the one where I don't. However, why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world my brain perceives? Brains. I forgot her specialty was neuroscience. So you're saying world lines are independent? Like trains, maybe. Trains? Let me give you an easy example. Kurisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it. If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I take? I didn't know you were a rail fan. Short for railroad fanatic, an otaku with an interest in trains. Seems awfully boring to me. It's just an example, jeez. You choose to take the Yamanote line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to Tokaido Main Line for the rest of your trip. Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary. I don't know what that is, somebody can explain. But I take the Yamanote line to Osaki, then transfer to the Shonan Shinjuku line. Another person, say Yoshida-san, might decide to take the Keihin Tohoku line for some reason. And Mayuri might ride the Shinkansen from Tokyo. I remember the Shinkansen from Go-Go Nippon. You and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there, we ride different lines, while still aiming for the same destination. And that applies to the universe? You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds? I like to use my imagination too sometimes. But where's the proof that there's only one world? Sasua said so, and then there's reading Steiner. In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower. But we knew Sasua. There's no way to prove that she was Ashida's daughter, or anything she said about 2036 either, not without going there ourselves. And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being. That's completely absurd, Okabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god. But there are no gods in reality. The world doesn't revolve around you. It's just your brain making you believe that it does. If that makes you this world's god, then I must become a god too. My brain is just as big as yours. What are you trying to say?
Let's say you choose the world line where I die. That doesn't mean I have to do the same. The fact is that I'm standing here right now, observing the world with my own subjectivity. I already exist on the world line where I don't die. Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective might remain here. It's a question of where the soul lies, and I won't let you have your way with my soul. No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy. But there's a chance I'm right. So you have nothing to worry about. Carissa smiles. How can she smile? I just told her that she's going to die. The problem is that you don't want to let me die, right? But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line. So there's no reason to be afraid. Dots. It's just a hypothesis. The same is true of attractor fields. It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2036, that doesn't help us here in the present. In other words, anything is possible. Carissa turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could, quite possibly, render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Carissa stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl. You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did. Don't say it like that. Mayuri's calling me. Hold on, Mayuri. Before any choice we make, say, that's just how it is. Hello? Mayuri?
Yeah.
Displayed on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some reason. What's wrong?
I heard from Daru-kun that Okarin's been acting kinda strange. Mayushi was so preoccupied with Kamima, she didn't really notice. Even though she usually notices right away when Okarin's not happy. I'm sorry, Okarin.
Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong.
Did something happen?
Dots.
Okarin?
I can't tell her. I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be. There's nothing wrong.
Dots. Oh. You know, you used to talk to Miyushi about a lot of things, remember? Like, the organizations for leaders. Their names are Buck Turkish, Virginian Burp, Balloon Drag Queen, and Wide-Eyed Gore, right?
Black Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, Blue Dragon, and White Tiger.
Yeah, that. You know, it was really fun talking to Okarin about stuff like that. But now, Okarin, if Mayushi's a burden, just say so, okay?
What? I never...
I'm hanging up now. If you feel like talking to Mayushi about anything, just call, okay? Do-do-do!
She hung up on me. What did Mayuri say? How are you a burden? Don't say things like that, damn it! Why is she only serious at times like this? A burden, huh? I've never felt Mayuri was a burden. Not once. Then you should tell her that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubts. Either way, I can't tell her the truth. Okabe, Carissa sighs and glares at me. The old you wouldn't have worried about anything. Anyway, you should go see Mayuri. I'm sure she has a lot to say. She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. Let's go hang with our dear Mayuri. Alright, so we have a very interesting situation on our hands right here. So tune in next time when the story continues. Have a still good day, take care and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody, stay dark.
Goodbye.